Joe? I think they're right there.
What's going on? It's true. As y'all watching, here come your two boys that they got arrested. Mr. Straight Drop, he looking nonchalant, like he know the system. But look at your boy Cornelius though. Funny feeling I got about Cornelius is that he appears to be the weakest link. And if you know anything about 201, now don't quote me on this, but my gut feeling tells me it's highly likely that Cornelius won't make it to trial. We done seen this before. And he is the weakest link. True, to pay attention.
Smith, good morning. Smith, we'll ask you to raise right here in your handcuffs. So I'm going to tell you you've been indicted by the grand jury. Smith, you charged in indictment 22-00014 with the offense of first-degree murder. Smith, that offense carries a sentence of life in prison. The state of Tennessee could also file a notice to seek the death penalty or to seek life in prison without the possibility of parole. You've also indicted in count 2 of this case with Smith and charged with criminal attempt to commit a felony to commit first-degree murder. That Class A felony carries anywhere from 50 to 60 years in prison. Count 3 with Smith charges you with being a convicted felon in possession of a firearm, alleging that you've been convicted of an aggravated assault. That's a felony with statutory elements involved violence, the attempted use of violence. That B felony also carries 8 to 30 years in prison. This offense occurred after July 1st, 2021. That's an 85% sentence with Smith. If you're convicted of that crime, you have to serve 85% of that sentence. You've also been charged with being employing a firearm in the commission of a felony offense. That C felony carries anywhere from 3 to 15 years in prison. The gun charge is a 100% sentence for Smith. If you're convicted of a gun charge, you have to serve 100% of that sentence would have to run consecutive to attempted murder. You've also been indicted by the grand jury and charged with theft of property. And that C felony carries anywhere from 3 to 15 years in prison. Mr. Smith, do you understand what you're charged with, sir?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Smith, do you have an attorney?
You're looking at hiring one right now.
You are in the process of trying to hire an attorney right now, sir?
Yes, sir.
Who's going to hire an attorney for you, Mr. Smith?
Okay.
Have you talked to an attorney yet?
Yes, we're looking at hiring.
Do you know what attorney you're trying to hire, Mr. Smith? Not at the moment. How much time do you need in order to get an attorney hired for you, Mr. Smith?
About another week.
You think you'd have a lawyer in a week, sir?
Week and a half. Yes, sir.
Hey, what's going on? Y'all see Cornelius, when they asked him about a lawyer, how long it was going to take him, he was fumbling for an answer. Now, we all know that any lawyer that takes this case is going to charge an arm and a leg. Now, I don't know about Cornelius' family, whether they want to go into debt, but I don't think they're going to have the money to hire the kind of lawyer that he needs for these charges. But since I don't know his family, I can't say 100%. So if this was me, I would put me a lawyer on docket today. And if my family just so happened to come up with lawyer fare, then I will swap my lawyers out. But I would definitely be getting a feel on the evidence they have against me at this point. Stay tuned. Let's go on the straight drop and see what he gonna say. Because they family outside, they couldn't come in. But hey, if you ain't got no lawyer by now, and you already got your payout money, what you did, what you was thinking. True.
Can you have a seat for a second? Talk to you in a minute, please, sir. Mr. Justin Johnson. Mr. Johnson, good morning, sir. Mr. Johnson, in that indictment 2103333, you are indicted for the same similar conduct, rather, let me rephrase that, as in 2200014, rather, you're indicted for the same conduct as your co-defendant, Mr. Cornelius Smith. Count 1 charged you with first-degree murder. Again, that carries a sentence of life in prison if convicted. Life under Tennessee law, Mr. Johnson, is construed to be 60 calendar years. You have to serve 51 years of that sentence before you become eligible for release. Attempted first-degree murder carries 15 to 60 years in prison. Being a convicted felon in possession of a firearm carries 8 to 30 years in prison. Employing a firearm in commission of an attempted murder carries anywhere from 3.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just want to point out one thing. Now, everybody, all y'all know that I tell my true story, so I don't have secrets. 201, look at the posture of straight Dropp. Now he a seasoned veteran, right? Look at his co-defendant, Mr. Cornelius Smith. Look how frail, look how thin, look how he got his hands interlocked. Now, he knows he's safe right now in his courtroom, right? But when he go back to lockdown, he under constant fear of straight Dropp. He should have a bad vibe because they talking about him. They talking about, what about your charge partner? You know what I'm saying? Is he gonna be the demise of your case? Like, so basically they trying to formulate a plan to get rid of Cornelius or make him do something to himself. He's not gonna be able to survive. You know, this is a long ride. For a murder charge of 201, you're looking at like 3-4 years. I done seen it stretch out to 5.5, almost 6. But this is a high profile case. So since I don't advocate for death, you know, even though he's innocent still until proven guilty. All of them innocent until proven guilty, no matter what we feel and how we felt about Dolph. But this young man right here, Cornelius Smith, I can tell you straight up, his life in danger. And I want you to look at them officers around him. You see one deputy jailer. You see the gang unit. Same motherfucker they sent after me. You know? So, realize that these officers in this jail, they will do whatever money say do. And if they from the hood, north, south, east, west, man, check your affiliation. But to me, Cornelius, somebody better do something for him. That's just my opinion. True. Let's continue.
6 to 15 years in prison. The gun charge is 100% sentence, Mr. Johnson. If you're convicted of using a gun, employing a gun in an attempted murder, you have to serve a minimum sentence of 6 years at 100%. Those sentences would have to run consecutively. You've also been indicted for theft of property. That C felony carries 3 to 15 years in prison. You have a second indictment. That apparently was superseded by the other indictment, which you just read into the record. 1210333 charged with first-degree murder, attempted first-degree murder, and theft of property. Now, do you understand the charges against you, Mr. Johnson?
Yes, sir.
Do you have an attorney, sir?
Working on it.
You're working on hiring an attorney. Mr. Johnson, who's going to hire an attorney for you, sir?
Okay.
How long will it take you to get a lawyer, Mr. Justin Johnson?
I can't answer that. I don't know.
How much time do you want me to continue your case so that you and your family can hire an attorney, sir?
2 weeks.
Mr. Johnson, if you tell me that Judge Coffey, I cannot afford an attorney, I will appoint an attorney for you. Do you understand it, sir?
I can afford one.
You can afford an attorney. Mr. Smith, stand up for a second also. Mr. Smith, if you tell me that you cannot afford an attorney, I will appoint a lawyer for you also. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
You tell me that you can afford an attorney.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Johnson, Mr. Smith, you do not need the court to appoint an attorney for you. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Smith, you told me you can have an attorney hired in a week or 2. Mr. Johnson, you told me you don't know how long it will take you to hire an attorney.
I don't know how
When would you like to be back in court so you can let me know whether or not you were able to hire an attorney, Mr. Johnson? About a week. Mr. Haggard, we handle this case with the state of Mr. Griffiths.
Yes, sir.
You're both asking for a week, is that correct?
I should know something in a week.
Okay, there you have it. Straight drop. He say he should know something in a week. He kept it real. It's like he waiting to see what my folks gonna do on the outside. So I can't give you no date. Can't give you no time. Judge like, so both of y'all say y'all gonna hire an attorney. So if you hear Lee Coffey back there, he's like, I don't believe y'all. Y'all wasting time. He trying to tell him, go ahead and let me assign you a PD right now. Because he don't believe they can hire an attorney. Now, since straight drop, he straight dropped the video, right? The day before he said he was going to turn himself in. The subliminal message, he straight dropped the video. Cocky like rocket. It's almost appeared like he was bragging about what happened to Dolph. Okay, so, like I told y'all before, I ain't no fool. I'm not a fool. I don't see what people show me. There's always something behind it. And that's why I talk how I talk. And that's why I walk how I walk. I ain't gotta be simple minded. It takes deeper thinking and observation, good eyes to survive in this world. So if you like to be told what to do, told what to buy, told where to go, well, that's you. But straight drop, somebody is behind him. I mean, y'all pay attention to, he was the youngest nigga with a federal charge and did the smallest time ever.
Mr. Haggard, on the Friday of next week, the 28th of January, be a good day for you.
That's just fine. Yes, sir.
Mr. Smith, Mr. Johnson, I'm going to continue your case until Friday, January 28th. That would give you about 9 days to see if you get a lawyer hired. Now, if you come back on Friday, the 28th of January, and you tell me that you cannot afford an attorney, I will appoint an attorney for you. I will appoint a private lawyer for you, somebody who's qualified to handle the most serious cases in the state of Tennessee. I will appoint a lawyer for you if you tell me you cannot hire an attorney. Now, I cannot let you sit in jail week after week, month after month without an attorney because it would violate your rights. Do you understand this, sir? Mr. Johnson, you have any questions, sir? Mr. Smith, you have any questions? I'll see you both back in court on Friday, January 28th. If you have a lawyer hired, that's fine. If not, I'm going to appoint an attorney for you. You can both step back in the back. Thank y'all for bringing Mr. Smith and Mr. Johnson to court for me.
Okay, what you just seen right there, it shows you that Cornelius and straight drop, they got them separated. Is that good or is that bad? Because from appearances, now I ain't saying nothing about the small guy, the small frail guy, Cornelius, because we know how the skinny dudes. I was a skinny dude. That ain't stopped me from swinging now time. So that ain't it. But as far as affiliation and who runs the jail, look at the officer. Look at the only deputy jailer in there. Look how he looking at straight drop. See, these officers around there, they caught up in the hype of what happened to Dolph too. So there's something like groupies. Now, the only thing that's gonna happen is they're gonna break. If they from Memphis, they live in Memphis, so they in some hood. So they're affiliated by default with something, and that's how they run this 201 public jail. Remember, the feds came in and shut 201 down. They still on the federal mandate from the 80s, the Thunderdome. When G-Train and Big Country was running the whole jail. So they still under federal supervision. So, but ain't nothing changed. True.
The call the court to recess. Everyone to remain seated.
Court stands at recess. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll see you in 9 days. Thank y'all for being here today. Be safe. See you in 9 days. Be careful.
That right here. Turn it on. You mind turning it on?
Yes. I don't know, is that good? I was about to pick it up.
Y'all slow down like 4 feet this way for the deputies. We got hoses. There we go. Yeah, here we go. Now we're too bad. Beautiful. Much better.
All right, we ready?
Step up.
Okay. This is Paul Hagerman, Hagerman, with the District Attorney's Office.
Okay, so we saw, but what exactly happened today?
Today we had the two defendants, Mr. Johnson and Mr. Smith, in court for the first time on the murder of Adolph Thornton, young Dolph. It was set for arraignment. Both of the defendants asked for more time to get attorneys hired, and so we'll come back in about a week and a half for that.
You know, understanding that they don't have attorneys right now, how long can they actually sit in jail?
Our judges here try to get people attorneys fast. They don't want them just sitting in jail. Now, these defendants have a right to hire an attorney, of their choosing. Sometimes it can take a defendant up to a month to do that. This judge wants to make sure these defendants have an attorney, sooner rather than later. And so we're coming back in about a week and a half at the request of the defendants.
They still have no bond, right?
They still have no bond.
Understanding that at this point in time, only 2 people have been arrested in regards to young Dolph's shooting. Do we know of any other arrests? Do we know we can move on right now?
All I can say is the investigation goes on.
This is Mr. Barnett. He was in Indiana in jail. He's charged as an accessory after the fact. Is he back in Memphis? Has he been extradited back?
My understanding is he's still in Indianapolis.
When is he going to be extradited? Do y'all know?
I don't know.
Any
I don't know.
details?
Obviously, with this case, we're in the very beginning stages, but in regards to how long this thing will go on in trial, what are we looking at?
We're at the beginning stages, the very beginning. This is literally, their first court date, so it's hard to answer that. This is a process, though, as y'all know. Y'all covered these cases before. Once they get attorneys, we'll start from there. We're in a courtroom that moves fast and expeditiously, and we'll just see where we're at month by month. But I think, Memphis wants some closure to this thing, and the family, and we do too.
When a case like this, obviously high profile, there's so many rumors, so many people, saying stuff, whatever. Does that make things more difficult on your office?
Don't really pay attention much, to the rumors, and I don't have much social media or things like this. I know who the victim was, familiar with him, know what he meant to Memphis and what he symbolized with regard to, being a self-made person and the grit and grind of Memphis, and we need to get some justice in this case.
Paul, you've been a very busy man. I'm talking about with the Lorenzo Wright case and now this on your hands. It never gets easy coming in contact with these families, obviously.
Well, dealing with the families is, you have to have hard conversations with them, but it's one of the best things about this job is getting to meet these families and talk with them, and they share with you, personal details and things about, the victims, and there's some meaningful conversations and some meaningful meetings with the families, so that's not the hard part of the job.
Have you had communication with Dolph's family?
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything you can share or?
They're very interested in the prosecution of this case. His mother's actually sick today, so she's not here, but some other family members are here, and they're gonna. I look forward to meeting with all of them pretty soon.
Obviously, great detective work and everything, but we talked about 500 tips in this case. Would we be at this point if it wasn't for the public's help?
Tips came in from the very start. These detectives worked nonstop. They literally didn't sleep for at least a week or so once this thing happened. I think as far as what has led to the charges and the investigation and things like that, you just have to stay tuned to the various court dates and things like that.
So you're still not releasing a motive or anything?
At this point, I wouldn't be allowed to comment on stuff like that.
Understanding the eyes are on Memphis right now, in the music world, all around the world. Just understanding, getting this thing right. Are we at the point where, again, we can go to trial, even though the trial hasn't been set, but we can go knowing that these two, from the DA's office, you all have strong evidence against them?
We wouldn't be here without strong evidence against them. We're confident, and y'all saw the video from November 17th when the two people shot and murdered Dolph. We got the two people in court today.
And more arrests could still come?
Investigation ongoing.
Can we say who was wearing that Bass Pro hat?
I couldn't comment on details like that.
Since they've been here, have they had any complaints about their incarceration here or anything they have to say being in jail?
I haven't heard from either one of them.
Thanks so much.
All right, Joe.
Thank you. Appreciate it. See you next week.